Hello and welcome to a short story scene. I am your host, the storyteller, and here we have a tale called Inferno by Dante Alighieri. Canto 5. Thus I descended out of the first circle down to the second, that less space begrides, and so much greater dole, and goads and wailing, though standeth Minos horribly and snarls, examines the transgressions at the entrance, judges and sends accordingly to his guides him. I say that when the spirit evil bound cometh before him, wholly to confess, and this discriminator of transgressions, seest what place in hell is met for it, grants himself in his tale as many times as grades he wishes that he should be thrust down. Always before him many of them stand. They go by turns, each one unto the judgment. They speak and hear, and then are downward hurled. O thou that this delirious holstry comest, said Minos to me when he saw me, leaving the practice of so great an office. Look how thou enterest, and in whom thou trustest. Let not the portal's amplitude deceive thee, and on to him with my guide. Why criest thou too? Do not impede his journey in fate ordained. It is so willed that wear this power to do that which is willed, and ask no further question. And now began the dulcet notes to grow, audible unto me. Now I am come. There were much lamentation strikes upon me. I came into the place mute of all light, which bellows as the sea does in the tempest. If by opposing winds it is combated, the infernal hurricane that never rests hurtles the spirits on in its rapine, whirling them around and smiting, it molests them. When they arrive before the precipice, there are the shrieks and plaints and laments. There they blaspheme the piteousness divine, and I understood that unto such a torment that the carnal malefactors were condemned, whose reasons subject to appetite, and as the wings of starlings bear them on in the cold seasons in large bandful, so doth the blast of spirits maledict, and hither, downward, upward drives them. No hope doth confront them with evermore, not a repose, but even a lesser pain. And as their cranes go chanting forth their lays, making an air and line of themselves, so saw I coming, uttering lamentations. Shadows bore onward by the aforesaid stress. Whereupon said I, Master, who are these people? Who are the black air so castigates? The first of those of whom the intelligence thou fain wouldest have. They said he unto me, the Empress was of many languages, to sensual vices, and she was so abandoned, that lustful she had licked in her law, to remove the blame to which she had been led. She is Semiramis, of whom he read that she succeeded Nisus, and was his spouse, and she held the land which now the Sultan rules. Next is she who killed herself for love, and broke faith with the ashes of Sicarius, and Cleopatra the voluptuous. Helen I saw, for whom so many ruthless seasons revolved, and saw the great Achilles, and who at the last hour of combat with love. Paris I saw, Tristan, and more than 1,000 shades did he name in the point out with his finger, whom love had spread from our life. After I had listened to my teacher, naming the dames of eld and cavaliers, pity prevailed, and I was nigh bewildered, and I began, O poet, willingly speak would I to these two who go together, and see upon the wind to be so light. And he said to me, Thou mark when they shall be nearer to us, and then do thou implore them by a love which leadeth them, and thy will come. Soon as the wind in our direction sways them, my voice uplift I, O ye weary souls, come speak to us if no one indirects it. As a turtle doves call upon my desire, with open and steady wings to the sweet nest, fly through the air by their volitions borne. And came they from the band where Dido is, approaching with the earthward in the air malign, and strong was the affectionate appeal. O living creature gracious and benignant, whose visiting goes through the purple air, us who have stained the world incarnadine, if we're the King of the universe, our friend, we would pray unto him to give thee peace, since thou hast pity on our woe preserve. And what is the pleases thee, and hear the speak, that will we hear, and we will speak to you. While silent is the wind as it is now, see the city wherein I was born, upon the seashore where the Po descend, and to rest the peace with all his venture. Love that on gentle heart doth sway swiftly seize this man for the person beautiful, that was then from me, and still the mode offends me. Love that exempts no one beloved from loving, seized me with pleasure of this man so strongly, that thou seest to doth not yet desert me. Love has conducted us unto one death, cannot with him with it quenched our life. These words were borne along from them to us. As soon as I had heard these souls tormented, I bowed my face, and so long held it down, until the poet said to me, What thinkest? When I made an answer, I began, Alas, how many pleasant thoughts, how much desire to conduct these onto the delirious path. Then unto them I turned me, and I spake, and I began, Thine agony is, Francesca, said, the sad and compassionate to weep make me. But tell me, at the time of those sweet sighs, by what and in the manner love conceded, that you should know your devious desires? And she to me, There is no greater sorrow than it to be mindful of the happy time and misery, and that thy teacher knows. But to recognize the earliest root of love in us thou hast so great desire. I will do even as he who weeps and speaks. One day we're reading where of our delight of Lancelot, how love did he enthrall. Alone we were without any fear. Full many a time and our eyes together drew that reading, and drove the color from our faces. And one point only was it that overcame us, when as we read of the much longs for smile, being by such a noble lover kissed, this one, who never from me shall be divided, kissed me upon the mouth, all palpitating. Galileo was the book that he wrote it, and the day no further did he read therein. And all while one spirit uttered this, the other one did weep so, that for pity I swooned away as if I had been dying, and fell even as the dead bodies fall. And that concludes Canto 4, Inferno by Dante Alighieri. If you like this content and would like to support it, please head on over to Patreon. That is www.patreon.com/short story scene. Thank you for listening, and see you next episode. Bye.